Hi Cancer, how's it going? I hope you're doing awesome today. Welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. My name is Lynn and this is going to be a general reading. I asked Spirit 10, actually 11 questions with your oracle card. I asked Spirit 11 questions and these are the answers that came out. But first of all, I want to just say happy birthday or happy belated birthday. If you've already had your birthday, I hope it was awesome. I hope you had a great time. I hope this is your best year yet. And happy birthday any for anyone whose birthday is coming up. I hope it's awesome for you. So let's go through. These are the cards. This is the direction I'm going in. So I'll start here for the first card and end here, and then the last one will be the oracle card. Okay. So Cancer, June 21st to July 22nd. Hmm. Um. So some traditional traits for you are caring, nurturing, very intuitive, loyal, emotionally sensitive, and very protective of your loved ones. So the first question I asked Spirit was, so I asked Spirit, let's see here. We got the Lovers reversed, a major arcana card. Gemini represented by Gemini. And I asked Spirit, what message do you most need to hear at this time? Okay, Cancer. So I asked Spirit, what message does Cancer most need to hear at this time? And you got the Lovers card reversed. So this card points, when it comes out reversed, it points toward themes of alignment, relationships, values, and choices. Okay, so Spirit is asking you to return to yourself before giving so much of yourself away. Okay, Cancer? Spirit, with the Lovers reversed, what Spirit is asking you is to return to yourself before giving so much of yourself away. Okay? The Lovers reversed often appears when there is some form of disconnection, not necessarily from another person, but from your own truth. You may have been placing everyone else's needs or emotions or expectations ahead of your own. And the Lover's card reversed is gently asking you, are the choices you're making truly aligned with who you are? Or are they being made to keep the peace or avoid conflict or to gain acceptance? And I just did a daily reading for the collective, and it kind of talked about this if you want to look at the video just before this one, okay? This is a season of realignment. Cancer, Spirit wants you to know that not every relationship is meant to continue in the same form, and not every connection is meant to be carried forever. Some relationships evolve, some require healthier boundaries, and some may have completed their purpose. That doesn't always mean separation. It can mean changing how you relate to yourself or others. See your oracle card? But we'll get to that. Okay? The Lover's reversed also speaks about the relationship you have with yourself. If you've been doubting your intuition or criticizing yourself or questioning your worth, then Spirit encourages you to rebuild trust in your own inner voice. Okay? You are naturally intuitive, but outside opinions or past disappointments or fear can make that inner guidance harder to hear. So Spirit is reminding you that your intuition becomes clearer when you stop seeking constant validation from others. For some of you, this card highlights an important decision. There may be two paths or two opportunities or two mindsets before you. Spirit is advising against making choices from fear, loneliness, guilt, or pressure. Instead, choose what reflects your deepest values and long-term well-being. A choice that feels difficult in the short term may ultimately bring greater peace than one that simply feels familiar. Emotionally, this card can indicate that you've been carrying burdens that were never yours to carry. As someone who naturally nurtures others, you may absorb other people's emotions while neglecting your own needs. Spirit's message is that compassion doesn't require self-sacrifice. Caring for others and caring for yourself can exist together. In love, the Lovers reversed encourages honesty. If you're in a relationship, this may be a time to improve communication, address unresolved issues, or reconnect with shared values. If you're single, Spirit may be encouraging you to deepen your relationship with yourself before seeking fulfillment through someone else. The strongest partnerships often grow from self-awareness rather than dependency. And this card also carries a reminder about integrity. Are your words, actions, and desires moving in the same direction? If they are not, Spirit invites you to make small adjustments so your life reflects who you truly are rather than who you feel expected to be. And again, the daily cards that came out just before this video talks about this. Honor your truth, trust your intuition, choose relationships and decisions that are aligned with your highest good. Okay? What Spirit is saying here, Cancer, is Spirit wants you to reconnect with your authentic self. Release people-pleasing and guilt-based decisions. Trust your intuition over outside opinions. Heal your relationship with yourself. Make choices that align with your values, not your fears. Create healthier boundaries without closing your heart. And remember that self-love is the foundation of every other relationship. So the Lovers reversed is not a prediction of loss or failure. It's an invitation to pause, reflect, and realign, okay? When your choices come from self-awareness and honesty, your relationships and your path become more authentic. And then the second question I asked Spirit was, what area of your life is ready for healing and growth? And the Three of Cups came out, okay? What area of Cancer's life is ready for healing and growth? So what Spirit is saying with this card is, Spirit is shining a light on your relationships, your sense of community, and your ability to receive love and support from the people around you. The area of your life that is ready for healing isn't just about romantic relationships. It's about the friendships, family connections, soul connections, and support systems that shape your emotional world. Spirit is showing that you may have spent so much time being the person everyone leans on that you've forgotten it's okay to lean on others. You naturally nurture, protect, and care for the people you love, but healing begins when you allow yourself to receive the same care you so freely give. Okay, you don't have to carry every burden alone. The Three of Cups is a reminder that joy itself is healing. If you've been caught in responsibilities, grief, disappointment, or emotional heaviness, then Spirit is encouraging you to reconnect with laughter, celebration, creativity, and the people who make you feel safe to be yourself. And again, Cancer, they talk about this in the daily message. Healing doesn't always happen through struggle. It can happen through shared moments of happiness, meaningful conversations, and genuine connection. And Spirit may also be asking you to examine your circle. Are the people around you celebrating your growth? Or do you feel drained or judged or unsupported? Because this card is inviting you to strengthen relationships that nourish your spirit, and then gently create distance from those that consistently leave you feeling emotionally depleted. Growth often comes from surrounding yourself with people who encourage your authenticity. For some of you, this card points toward healing old friendship wounds. There may have been disappointments, misunderstandings, or betrayals that caused you to become more guarded. So Spirit acknowledges those experiences while also reminding you that one painful chapter doesn't define every future connection. Healing may involve forgiveness, not necessarily reconciliation, but releasing the emotional weight that those experiences still carry. This card also highlights emotional expression. Cancer, you often feel deeply, but don't always share those feelings. Spirit encourages you to speak honestly with trusted people. You may discover that others understand you more than you expect. Vulnerability, when shared with safe, supportive people, can become a powerful source of healing. The Three of Cups can also indicate that your inner child is ready for healing. Think about the parts of yourself that once felt playful, creative, curious, and carefree, which Spirit talked about in the previous reading, the daily message. Spirit may be inviting you to reconnect with hobbies, passions, music, dancing, art, or simple experiences that remind you how good it feels to be fully present. Joy is not a distraction from healing, it's part of the healing process. Professionally, this card suggests growth through collaboration rather than isolation. New opportunities may come through networking, teamwork, mentors, or supportive colleagues. Spirit reminds you that success doesn't have to be achieved alone. Sometimes the right people are part of your blessing. And Spirit is also encouraging gratitude. Take notice of the people who have remained loyal, who check in on you, who celebrate your wins, and who stand beside you during difficult moments. Those relationships are sacred. Nurturing them will bring emotional abundance and continued growth. And if you've been feeling isolated or disconnected, then this card carries a hopeful message. Healing is available through community, whether that's family, chosen family, friends, a spiritual group, or a creative community. Spirit is guiding you toward environments where you feel accepted and valued for who you truly are. So open your heart to healthy relationships, joyful experiences, and the love and support that surrounds you. Allow yourself to both give and receive with an open heart. I'm just going to have a little water. Okay? So you're going to receive healing through friendships and supportive relationships. Allow yourself to receive help and love. Release isolation and embrace connection. Choose relationships that celebrate your growth. Heal past disappointments without closing your heart. Reconnect with joy, creativity, and your inner child. Build a strong, emotionally supportive community. And recognize that celebration, laughter, and gratitude are powerful forms of healing. Cancer, the Three of Cups is a beautiful sign that your next phase of healing comes through connection rather than solitude. Spirit is reminding you that you were never meant to carry life's emotional weight alone. By opening your heart to trusted relationships, embracing moments of joy, and allowing yourself to be supported, you create space for profound emotional growth. Healing doesn't always arrive through hardship. Sometimes it arrives through friendship, celebration, and remembering that you are deeply loved. Your third question I asked Spirit is what emotions or fears are you being called to release? And you got the Six of Cups reversed. Okay, Cancer? So what emotions or fears are you, Cancer, being called to release? And you got the Six of Cups reversed. So Spirit is gently bringing your attention to the past. The Six of Cups reversed suggests that one of the greatest areas ready for release is the emotional weight of experiences that no longer serve your present life. This isn't a message to forget your past. It's an invitation to stop allowing it to define your future. Cancer, as a sign that naturally holds on to memories, relationships, and emotional milestones, you can sometimes revisit old chapters with great intensity. Spirit acknowledges that Those memories have shaped you, but asks whether they are still helping you grow or quietly keeping you stuck. Because this card can point to unresolved grief, lingering disappointment, regret, or nostalgia. There may be moments you wish had turned out differently, relationships you hoped would have lasted, or versions of yourself you miss. Spirit's message is that honoring the past is different from living in it. Healing often begins when you give yourself permission to move forward without feeling that you're betraying what came before. One fear this card may highlight is the fear of change. Remember your oracle card? We'll go through that again at the very end. But one fear this card may highlight is the fear of change. Sometimes the familiar feels safer than the unknown, even when the familiar no longer supports your growth. Spirit encourages you to recognize where comfort has become limitation. The next chapter may require trusting what lies ahead instead of trying to recreate what once was. For some of you, this card symbolizes childhood experiences or family patterns that continue to influence present choices. So Spirit may be inviting you to notice beliefs or emotional habits that originated long ago. You don't have to carry every inherited pattern into your future. Healing can include choosing new ways of responding, communicating, and caring for yourself. This card can also reflect a fear of letting go. You often love deeply and remember deeply. There may be an attachment to a relationship, a dream, or an identity that no longer fits who you're becoming. Spirit is reminding you that releasing something doesn't erase its importance. It simply creates room for what is aligned with your life now. Another message here involves forgiveness. That doesn't necessarily mean reconciling with someone or saying that what happened was acceptable. It can mean choosing not to let past hurt continue directing your emotional life. Forgiveness, in this sense, is about reclaiming your energy rather than remaining tied to old pain. Spirit may also be highlighting comparisons between the past and the present. If you find yourself thinking things used to be better or I'll never have that again, this card invites you to stay open to the possibility that your future can hold different but equally meaningful experiences. There's also an invitation to release guilt. You may be carrying responsibility for things that were outside your control, replaying decisions or wondering what you could have done differently. Spirit encourages compassion toward your past self. You made choices based on what you knew and who you were at that time. Growth, growth includes allowing yourself to evolve without remaining trapped by old judgments. Ultimately, this card is about emotional freedom. Spirit isn't asking you to erase memories, it's asking you to stop allowing those memories to limit hope, love, and possibility in the present. Honor your past without allowing it to control your future. Release old fears, old pain, and old stories. Make space for healing, peace, and new beginnings. Okay? So release attachment to the past. Heal unresolved grief or disappointment. Let go of guilt and self-blame. Break old emotional or family patterns. Release fear of change and the unknown. Forgive yourself and others to reclaim your peace. Embrace the present without constant comparison to the past. And trust that new experience can bring new forms of happiness. Okay? The Six of Cups reversed isn't saying that the past should be forgotten. It suggests that your emotional growth may come from loosening the grip that old experiences have on the present, okay? This card can be seen as an invitation to acknowledge what has been, learn from it, and allow yourself to move toward what is next with greater openness and self-compassion. Spirit's message is that your history is part of your story, but it doesn't have to write every future chapter, okay? I just want to make a note about that. I think that's a beautiful message for you. I would recommend maybe making a little note about that, Cancer, okay? Your history is part of your story, but it doesn't have to write every future chapter. And then your fourth question is, what hidden strength or gift are you not fully recognizing within yourself? And you got the Five of Wands, okay? Okay, let me just think about this question here. What hidden strength or gift is Cancer not fully recognizing within themselves? So, Cancer, with this card, Spirit is revealing something that may surprise you. The hidden gift you haven't fully recognized isn't found in times of comfort. It's found in your ability to rise through challenge. While this card is often associated with conflict, competition, and tension, in this position it speaks less about external struggles and more about the strength you develop by working through them. Spirit is showing that you are far more resilient than you give yourself credit for. There may have been moments when you questioned whether you could handle the pressure, the disagreements, the setbacks, or the uncertainty. Yet each time you've continued to move forward. Your ability to adapt, learn, and persevere is one of your greatest gifts, even if you don't always recognize it because you're focused on what still needs to be resolved. This card also points to courage. Cancer, you're often known for compassion and sensitivity, but Spirit wants to remind you that sensitivity is not weakness. Your willingness to care deeply while continuing to face life's challenges requires tremendous inner strength. You may not see yourself as a fighter because your approach isn't always loud or forceful, but your determination runs deep. When something truly matters to you, you find a way to keep going. Another hidden gift is your ability to grow through differing perspectives. The Five of Wands can represent differing opinions, debates, or competing ideas. Spirit suggests that you have the capacity to bring people together, to listen thoughtfully, and to find common ground where others see only conflict. This doesn't mean avoiding disagreements. It means recognizing that respectful challenge can lead to greater understanding and stronger relationships. Spirit may also be showing that you've been underestimating your leadership abilities. Leadership doesn't always look like standing at the front of the room. Sometimes it means encouraging others, staying calm under pressure, helping a group navigate challenges, or inspiring people through your example. Your emotional awareness can make you a steady presence when others feel overwhelmed. This card also speaks to healthy ambition. There may be dreams or goals you've hesitated to pursue because you're worried about competition or you feared you weren't good enough. Spirit encourages you to stop measuring your journey against someone else's. Your path is uniquely yours. The presence of talented or successful people around you doesn't diminish your own gifts. It can motivate and refine them. For some of you, this card highlights a hidden ability to advocate for yourself and for others. You may have spent so much time keeping the peace that you've forgotten your own voice matters. Spirit is reminding you that setting boundaries, expressing your needs, and standing up for your values are strengths, not flaws. There's also a creative message here. The Five of Wands carries dynamic, energetic, and passionate energy. You may discover that your best ideas emerge when you're challenged or when you're pushed outside your comfort zone. What feels like chaos today may actually be the spark that ignites your next breakthrough. Spirit wants you to know that not every obstacle is a sign you're on the wrong path. Sometimes resistance appears because you're growing into a stronger version of yourself. The challenges you're facing may be refining your skills, strengthening your confidence, and preparing you for opportunities that require exactly the resilience you've been developing. Spirit is asking you to stop seeing conflict as something to fear. Constructive disagreements, difficult conversations, and moments of tension can all become catalysts for growth when approached with honesty and respect. You don't lose your gentle nature by standing firm. You simply allow others to see the full strength that has always been within you. So recognize your resilience. Trust your inner strength. Welcome challenges as opportunities to grow into your highest potential. Okay? Recognize your resilience and perseverance. Find strength through challenges rather than despite them. Trust your ability to overcome obstacles. Develop confidence without comparing yourself to others. Use emotional intelligence as a form of leadership. Speak up for yourself with courage and compassion. Turn conflict into growth and learning. You're discovering new strengths through life's challenges. Your hidden gift is the capacity to transform challenge into growth. Rather than seeing difficulties as evidence of weakness or failure, this card invites you to recognize how much strength, adaptability, and wisdom have already been built through life's experiences. The very situations that test you may also be revealing qualities like resilience, courage, leadership, and determination that you are only beginning to fully appreciate. And then the fifth question I asked Spirit is, what guidance is Spirit offering Cancer regarding love and relationships? And the Two of Wands reversed came out. Okay, so what guidance is Spirit offering you, Cancer, regarding love and relationships? This card is saying, what this card is telling me is that Spirit is encouraging you to examine what may be holding you back from experiencing the kind of love and relationships you truly desire. Because this card reversed points to hesitation, fear of the unknown, or remaining in familiar situations because they feel safe, even when your heart is asking for growth, okay? Don't allow fear to make your decisions for you. I just need to have a little bit of water. Hang on. Spirit is saying, don't allow fear to make your decisions for you. There may be a part of you that wants deeper intimacy, healthier communication, or a fresh beginning. Yet another part is afraid of disappointment, rejection, or repeating past pain. Spirit understands why those fears exist, but gently reminds you that fear is not always a reliable guide. Protecting your heart is understandable, but building walls so high that love cannot reach you is something to reflect on. I think this is a really good message for you, Cancer. I would make a note of that too, okay? Protecting your heart is understandable, but building walls so high that love cannot reach you is something to reflect on. For you, Cancer, whose emotional world runs deep, love is rarely casual. You invest your heart fully. Because of that, past heartbreaks may still influence present choices. Spirit asks you to notice whether you're responding to the person in front of you or to wounds from a previous chapter. Not every connection will mirror the last one, and healing may involve allowing new experiences to unfold without expecting old outcomes. And if you're in a relationship, this card suggests it's time to stop postponing important conversations. There may be topics that both of you have been avoiding because they're uncomfortable. But Spirit is encouraging honesty, openness, and a willingness to discuss future goals, emotional needs, and shared values. Growth in love often begins with conversations that require vulnerability. And if you're single, Spirit may be asking whether you've truly made room for a new relationship. Sometimes we say we're ready for love while unconsciously holding on to fears, comparisons, or expectations that keep us emotionally unavailable. This card invites you to ask yourself what readiness really looks like. Is your heart open to something new, or is it still waiting for the past to resolve itself? Spirit also highlights the importance of choosing from confidence rather than scarcity. You don't have to settle because you're afraid of being alone, and you don't have to chase someone who isn't meeting you with the same level of care and respect. Healthy love is built on mutual effort, trust, and emotional safety. This card can also suggest staying inside your emotional comfort zone. Perhaps you've become accustomed to keeping your feelings hidden, avoiding vulnerability, or assuming others already know how you feel. Spirit encourages you to express your emotions with honesty and kindness. The right people won't be driven away by your authenticity. They'll appreciate it. And for some of you, Spirit's also speaking about timing. You may feel pressure to have everything figured out, whether a relationship is going, when you'll meet the right person, or how the future will unfold. This card gently reminds you that you don't have to force clarity before it naturally arrives. Continue making decisions that align with your values and allow the path to unfold one step at a time. And again, the daily card talked about that. Another important message is about boundaries. Sometimes love requires opening your heart, and sometimes it requires protecting your peace. Spirit asks you to notice whether you're overextending yourself, carrying emotional responsibilities that belong to someone else, or accepting less than you truly deserve. Healthy boundaries don't block love, they create the conditions for love to flourish. Spirit also wants you to stop underestimating your own worth. The love you seek begins with the relationship you have with yourself. The more you trust your own value, the less likely you are to accept relationships built on inconsistency, mixed signals, or emotional uncertainty. Trust that the love meant for you will align with your values. Release fear, honor your worth, and open your heart with wisdom, courage, and healthy boundaries. Okay? So, Cancer, what Spirit is saying with this card is to release fear of the unknown in love. Don't let past heartbreak dictate present choices. Have honest conversations instead of avoiding them. Trust your intuition when making relationship decisions. Create healthy emotional boundaries. Don't settle out of loneliness or uncertainty. Open your heart while honoring your self-worth. And allow relationships to develop naturally rather than forcing outcomes. Okay? Cancer, this card is not a sign that love is out of reach. Instead, it invites you to look inward and notice where hesitation, fear, or familiar patterns may be limiting emotional growth. In a reflective reading, this card can suggest that Spirit is encouraging you to move forward with greater self-awareness, trusting that meaningful relationships are built through honesty, courage, and choices that reflect your deepest values rather than your deepest fears. So I didn't realize that this reading was, I'm only halfway, Cancer, and we're already at 46 minutes. So I'm just going to post this, and then I'm going to do a part 2 with the rest of the reading, and I'll post it right after this video with the oracle message, okay? So hopefully this reading is going good for you and you're getting a lot of guidance or insight. Let me know how it's going, and just stay tuned for part 2, okay? I'll talk to you very soon. Bye. Thank you for letting me channel these messages so far. I'm sending you lots of love and strength.